Today, all eyes will be on the state of Georgia, where a special congressional election is being held to fill the 6th district seat vacated by Tom Price, who left to become President Trump's Secretary of Health and Human Services. But because Trump barely won the affluent conservative stronghold by only 1 point over Hillary Clinton, Democrats see a chance to reclaim the seat as being in Republican control since 1979. This is the seat used to be held also by Newt Gingrich. There are 18 candidates running in the open election, 11 Republicans, 5 Democrats, 2 independents. But Republicans are running scared because the candidate who is way ahead of the pack is a Democrat. 30 years old, Jon Ossoff. He's raised $8.3 million from around the country, and all of a sudden is polling right now 45-46%. If he wins 50+%, he will win the special election. And of course, Republicans are upset about that. And you have Donald Trump already tweeting. Here's what he tweeted. The super liberal Democrat in the Georgia congressional race tomorrow wants to protect criminals, allow illegal immigration, and raise taxes. Okay. Here's Ossoff talking about the campaign.
There are certainly people in the community who have serious concerns about the direction of things in Washington right now and the administration, and I share those concerns.
Samuel L. Jackson also cut an ad for Ossoff, and so that was pretty interesting as well. Do we have that ad? Okay, we have the John Lewis ad. I was hoping we have the Sam Jackson ad. Here's John Lewis.
Donald Trump is putting everything we have accomplished at risk. That's why I'm supporting Jon Ossoff in the special election on April 18th. I've known Jon Ossoff for many years. I know he will hold Donald Trump accountable.
Also, Nancy Pelosi has cut an ad as well.
If you don't like Nancy Pelosi's agenda, you won't like Jon Ossoff. Ossoff is dishonest and liberal. Ossoff inflated his resume to fool you. Now Ossoff's trying to hide his liberal values. The truth is, Ossoff will rubber stamp Pelosi's extreme agenda.
Okay, that was actually Republicans trying to tie him to Nancy Pelosi. Hopefully I'll try to find the Sam Jackson ad. It's a radio ad he cut where he invoked his, of course, Pulp Fiction character for Ossoff. And so, guys in the control room, y'all try to find an ad. Let me know when you have it. Let's go to our panel here. Will this be a referendum on Trump, or will it actually be about the issues in that district?
I think it's both. It's definitely, you know, all politics is local. People care about how the world impacts them on the ground, but also this is a very interesting district. This is a district that has shifted demographically. It's got a significant number of people of color. It's got a significant number of immigrants, and everyone sees the calamity that's in the White House right now. So in many respects, it will be a referendum on Donald Trump, and if that's the case, then the Republicans have a lot to worry about.
But it's still heavy white, and it's still very wealthy. And I've been proud to be part of the board of directors of Right Now Women PAC. We've endorsed Karen Handel, who's a front runner out of the Republicans. There is some worry that she might not win. This is a jungle primary. It's really anyone's guess, but she's doing well. She spent a fraction of what Ossoff has spent. That money of his has come predominantly out of state. Karen has really high name ID. She's a former Secretary of State. She's a woman that is not going to be held carrying Donald Trump's water. Let's put it that way. She says she's going to be up there representing Georgia 6, and I believe it.
And there's no chance that Ossoff's going to win. He's a great guy. I like that we have younger people in, but there's no way he's going to get more than 50% of the vote. I think Democrats wanted to be a referendum. Let me finish. I think Democrats wanted to be a referendum on Trump because Trump only won by 1%. But this district is one that Tom Price carried by 20%, and I think, as she mentioned, some demographics are not for him. So again, I think Democrats wanted to be a referendum on Trump and want it to be a possibility, but just working on over a dozen campaigns and seeing what's on the ground, seeing the ground game and the fundraising and the numbers of the poll, I don't see how he can get over 50%. He'll get the plurality of the vote today, but I don't see him getting over 50%.
Okay, but here's a piece here. If you're the one candidate right now is at 45, 46, you got a better chance of getting there than somebody else. So to say that he has no chance, he actually does have a chance. And here's the other piece. Again, you have 5 Democrats, 11 Republicans. And again, if you have Democrats who decide, well, 1 or 2 people say, look, I'm pulling back. He can still win it. Folks, here's Shelly, go to my iPad. I'm going to play for you the audio of the Sam Jackson ad that he cut for Ossoff.
We have an urgent message from award-winning actor, civil rights activist, and Morehouse man Samuel L. Jackson on an upcoming special congressional election April 18th and why you need to vote.
Hi, I'm Samuel L. Jackson. There's a special congressional election on April 18th. What can you do? Go vote. Your vote goes a long way towards setting things right in this country. Vote for the Democratic Party. Stop Donald Trump, the man who encourages racial and religious discrimination and sexism. Remember what happened the last time people stayed home? We got stuck with Trump. We have to channel the great vengeance and furious anger we have for this administration into votes at the ballot box. Do your friends and family a favor. Hell, do yourself a favor and vote on April 18th and make sure to vote for the Democratic Party.
Paid for by the DCCC, dccc.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. DCCC is responsible.
Now, I got to say this here. First of all, to open up, they may sound like it was John Lewis coming up and not Sam Jackson.
College-educated white women are going to go for that, I think. I mean,
really?
I think they may. I think if you're educated, you understand that what we've been sold is a bill of goods, and maybe they'll take an honest look at people like Karen Handel, who's leading in the pack again, like I said. But that feels so crowded from the Republican side. It would have done the party well, I think, to sit down and saying, you know what, you guys need to sit down. There's a guy named Bruce Avell, for example. He's on Trump's diversity inclusion, I guess, team, and he's running. He's a successful businessman down there. But people like him, I wish they'd kind of sat down and taken a serious look at the demographics and said, who can really win this and keep it in control for the party?
Well, you know what I find interesting and what I'm concerned about is that there are reports that several voting machines were stolen just a couple of days ago. And we know what typically happens in elections, that we already face situations where in districts or in areas where you have a majority of people of color, there tend to be less voting machines, period. And so I'm wondering if that's going to have an impact. I'm wondering if that's part of the shenanigans where Republicans, quite frankly, are probably running scared about this particular election.
And they're going to replace the voting machines. I heard about that as well, but they vowed to replace them since there's only one special election in Georgia today. But again, I just say, look at the district. It's a majority Republican district, and so in order for him to get over 50%, he has to convince Republicans to vote for him and not one of the 11 Republicans running. So again, I just don't think it's happening.
But here's the issue you have. 39% approval numbers with Trump.
Yeah.
The numbers of people who say he can't trust his word has dropped dramatically. Really, other than Gorsuch, he's done nothing.
Right.
He's absolutely failed at everything.
Well, he's bombed, and people like that. You know, this is very interesting because this is the very predictable rally around the flag effect, where when we take aggressive action, there tends to be a sort of an uptick in support for the president. Even though we're not seeing it, you're right, in his approval ratings, I do believe that he is sort of at least commandeering that as an indicator of success. I would disagree, but that is at least one of the things that he's pointing to as an issue that, you know, he's being successful.
If it's a referendum on Trump, again, it's going to be a bad day for Republicans. He only won the district by 1%. But like you said, all politics is local. I don't think it's going to be a referendum on Trump. That's what Democrats want it to be, but I don't think it will be.
But here's one thing I find to be interesting. I was watching some other programs, and they were saying, oh, if the Democrats don't win this, it's just been abject failure. Everything they've done has been a failure. Here's the reality. Okay, this is one election.
Yeah.
You look at the Kansas election. You can lose a race and still gain insight from that particular race.
Sure.
And so I disagree with this whole notion that even if Ossoff doesn't win this special election, that Democrats cannot glean some understanding of what they must do when it comes to the 2018 midterms.
That's right. Look, I think the crux of the matter here is Republicans would make a big mistake if they compared this district to what happened in Kansas. Mike Pompeo, the CIA director seat, that was a solid red seat. This is a mix because the demographic has changed. Again, it's college-educated, wealthy, younger white women that are going to turn out to vote here. And they are frustrated with Trump. They were frustrated with him during the general election. And so Republicans should be worried. And I don't think we can draw parallels here. But Democrats, again, should live to see another day. I'm certainly hoping this goes to June and that it's Ossoff versus Handel and the best woman will win. I hope so. She's going to be good for the district.
A peaceful protest turned deadly. 37-year-old black man was shot and killed by Baton Rouge police. His hands are in the air and you still get shot by the cops.
Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead.
We're not going to let hate define us.
Race is a big part of this.
If truly all lives matter, then all lives need to matter equally.
What we require is action. What we require is accountability. We understand that black lives do matter, and we will keep focused on this issue.
NewsOne Now, every weekday morning at 7 on TV1.